Colorado falls on the road here at TCU, 35-21, falls to 2-4 overall this season. Just got out of the postgame press conference with Coach Prime, and the frustration is building within this program right now.
Yeah, there's no question. And I mean, the theme is basically that this team doesn't have killers, killer instinct. And he's frustrated with that, he sees so much potential in this team, and they show it from time to time.
Yeah.
But it's just not consistent. There's a team that 2 straight weeks has looked really good in building a 14-0 lead, and then scores 7 points the rest of the time after that. And I feel like defensively they've given themselves a shot 2 straight weeks. But I asked Coach Prime again, just like somebody asked last week, did you feel better about how the defense did? And he goes, no, we didn't do enough. And I understand it. I mean, there's so much potential in what this team shows half the time, and the other half the time it's just not there.
Yeah, I mean, this is not a team that should be 2-4 at this point.
Yeah,
and they've had some opponents that have been pretty tough. But really, the last 2 weeks, especially, it feels like the opportunities have really been there for them. And Caden Salter just continues to struggle. I don't know what you do with that position going forward.
I don't know either. And to Coach Prime's credit, he's not really throwing Caden Salter under the bus, but his no answers are very loud. When he's asked about Caden Salter, and he's like, look, I see what you see, which tells you, look, I know he's struggling. And I don't think he knows what to do either, because what's your option at this point? I think, Ryan Staub really struggled. And the one game they really didn't have a shot to win in the fourth quarter was the one that Ryan Staub played. Not that it was his fault, but he struggled in that game.
They didn't play well. Yeah.
They didn't play well. And then Julian Lewis, I just don't think he's ready. I think if they felt Julian Lewis was ready, he would have been he'd be playing at this point, right? Or at least be getting some sort of shot.
Yeah, there is going to be a point, though. You're having to build for the future.
Yes.
And I don't know if 2-4 is that point, but those picks late in the first half were kind of inexcusable for a fifth-year senior.
Yeah, no question. And that's the frustration with Caden Salter is, he did a really nice job. I can't remember if it was the first or second touchdown drive. I think it was the first one. He's 6 for 6. Ends it with a touchdown pass to Amon Miller. Second touchdown drive, he scores on a 10-yard run. Looks really nice, And then, man, 2 minutes left. You're up 14-7 and throw 2 interceptions in that stretch. And the first one was, I think it was Omarion. Was it Omarion that was back there? We're sitting there up in the press box like, throw it. For like 4 seconds, he's wide open. And just didn't get enough air under it. And that's a throw as a fifth-year senior. Like, how do you not – and he talked about Bud Clark making a great play, which he did, but you got to get that ball over to Amari Miller. And then the last one, the one at the goal line, he just tries to force a ball in there, and it gets deflected. And it's an unfortunate bounce, but that was kind of Caden Salter in a nutshell tonight.
Yeah, and the ground game is working.
Mm-hmm.
The O-line's playing pretty darn well. It's really comes down to quarterback play at this point offensively.
Yeah.
Defensively, we've seen the run defense improve quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
TCU only averaged 2.7 yards on a lot of carries tonight. So that group, that was obviously something they were really struggling with early in the season and have gotten better. Helps when it's not a dual-threat quarterback that's behind center.
Yeah.
Hoover's kind of an interesting quarterback. He scored threw 4 touchdown passes, but it didn't feel like he played all that great, did it?
No, it didn't. One of them was with 19 seconds left to, I don't want to say pad the lead, it put the game away, right? For those of you that bet, it took TCU in the points, you needed that one. If you're a betting person, that was either really agonizing or really awesome for you. But that was one of them, and I think I liked how the Buffs played defense for the most part. And I feel like this defense, if you were getting more help from your offense, this defense would look really good.
Tawfiq Byard continues to be a leader. He talked to us after the game. You talk about a guy that showed that frustration with that press conference. It was very clear. And he's established himself as a leader. You made a great point that it's like you need more than just one Tawfiq Byard out there. And I know he missed the tackle today that was costly, but he's been playing pretty darn good football.
Yeah, he's been really good. And like attitude and leadership-wise, first off, he's only a sophomore. And so when some of your top leaders are sophomores and kickers and punters, that says a lot about this team, right? And it's fine if you're a leader as a sophomore, but those are your best leaders. I feel like last year this defense was loaded with them. You had Cam, you had Shiloh, you had Bentley and the Kyle Green, and Shane Cokes. You had all these leaders that were like Tawfiq Byard as far as attitude and that killer instinct. And this defense, I feel like it's got Tawfiq, and I'm not sure who else. I mean, Arden Walker's a good leader. Is he that vocal guy that gets upset like Tawfiq Byard? I don't know. DJ McKinney, great player. Is he a good leader? I don't know. From what we hear, Tawfiq Byard's the one we hear doing that.
Yeah. Offensively, a bright spot was Dallin Hayden.
Yeah.
He was running really hungry out there.
Yeah.
And it kind of falls in line with what Coach Prime talked about with this offense, needing consistency, but also him saying that he basically wants them to act like their life depends on it. Yeah. Dallin Hayden was running like that tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine for him, he's been itching for this opportunity for a long time because he had the injury-plagued season last year. He was ready to get back at it this year, has the injury that cost him a few games. He finally got an opportunity. He looked pretty good with it. As far as running back, real quick, I will say Draylon Miller, he's back. He's in that running back role. I kind of wish they would not go all the way running back. Use him as a hybrid. I think they took him out of receiver too much tonight.
Yeah. Omarion Miller, a couple touchdown catches tonight, a good game for him. Damon Greaves struggled. You probably just, when you saw him shanking punts, you're probably like, it's just not going to be Colorado's night, I guess, because he's been so solid. He had that one shank earlier this season too, but so just a lot of random things that kind of prevented them from being able to win this football game. And then you got to throw in the punt where they recovered it. It hit Cam Michael. That was again, you're 6 games into the season.
Yeah,
that can't be happening on punt return.
Right. I will say though, that was some karma because that came right after a really bad penalty.
That's true.
That TCU completes like a 43-yard pass that's called back on a pass interference penalty, offensive pass interference. When replay shows it was 2 buffs ran into each other, and the
crowd was not happy.
The crowd was not happy. I mean, Josh Hoover was upset. Sonny Duck's upset. And I'm like, they should be. And then the very next play, a punt hits off of Cam Michael, and TCU recovers. And I was like, that's a bit of karma. I mean, that's the way this sequence should be right now. Is TCU down there in scoring position. So it was an unfortunate play, but it really should have been that way anyway.
It's true. Yeah, Scott Proctor said it best. He said that's a ball don't lie moment right there. Like,
yes.
2-4. But you're not ready to look to the future yet.
Yeah.
There are winnable games on the schedule, but it kind of looks bleak right now for the Buffs.
It does, and I think the frustrating thing for Buff fans and obviously for Coach Prime, Tawfiq Byard and those guys is that this is now 2 straight Saturdays you and I have stood here and talked about a game that they should have won or very well could have won. I think more so last week they should have. Tonight they very well could have. But we talked about a 4-game stretch, a really tough 4-game stretch. BYU, TCU, Iowa State, Utah. And I was like, man, are they going to get any of those? Well, they should have gotten 2 of them, in my opinion. They should be 4-2 right now. You got an Iowa State team that didn't look very good today at Cincinnati coming in next week. And are you going to get an angry Iowa State? Are you going to get a wounded Iowa State? I don't know. But chances like this against good teams, you got 2 weeks in a row, and you need to take advantage of it.
Yeah. And unfortunately, Coach Prime, again, dealing with some issues with his foot. Said he's got an appointment on Monday. Poor guy can't catch a break right now.
Yeah.
So thoughts and prayers with Coach Prime as he hopefully there's some good news at that appointment on Monday.
Yeah, unfortunately, I mean, I noticed during the game. Romy Bean was sitting next to me. I actually noticed it and pointed it out. But he was walking around. He didn't have a shoe on for a little while on his left foot, and he said he might have some blood clots. He's got to get checked out. And so that's got to be frustrating because he's dealt with so much the last 3-4 years of his life with all the physical stuff. So that's got to be frustrating for him.
Definitely. All right. Well, Colorado will return next week to play Iowa State and try to get a win before the bye week.